Does it work properly? I don't remember. Hello. Look, I kind of had to poke everything to make sure it still worked, and I kind of can't really remember. I've kind of set the mic up right again. Wasn't quite working. Don't really know how it sounds. Oh, well, there is a womp. It's just less. It's a different kind of womp. Look, I've changed everything a bit. Everything's a bit more colourful. Oh, it's a slightly different vibe. It's a bit less harsh, which I know coming from me is basically meaningless, but you get you get the picture, really. Hey, look, it's got colours. It's working. Look, even the visualizer still works a little bit and everything. Where's the background music? God damn it. Some stuff's kind of half broken. Ambiance. Turn the ambiance on. Where? Oh. There it is. Look. I rejigged. Interestingly, the womp's not gone. It's still there. It's just lowered a bit. There's a synth added in. I got rid of the sharp noise. It's a different vibe. Chiller. Smoother vibe. Smoother. It's smooth, Matt. He got wax. No, I didn't get a wax. Maybe I should get a wax. No. I've not even been in my office that much lately. I've been kind of just working on my laptop in my living room. Actually, I've been doing most of it, but kind of avoiding my office because it's a bit of a mess. I've got like 5 hi-fis now. 5. Why do I have 5 hi-fis? Do we need more than... No, I didn't need more than 1, really. But I've got 5 now. Do any of them work properly? No, not really. I've also got a boombox. That sort of half works. It's got a fucking CRT screen in it. It's got a little... It's a boombox with a screen, like a CRT screen for analog television. Sick. It's smooth jazz mat. I don't know if it's smooth jazz mat. It's like... synthy jazz mat. I don't know. It's still jazz. It's just a different kind of jazz. It's not smooth jazz in the same way, but it's fine. Nothing's changed. Basically, I mean, for the most part, half the reason I've not been streaming is because I've just been incredibly busy at work. Which, if you are a member of the Nerky Victory, you may know some bit about. I've decided to stream because it's, as the song said, it's been so long. That song is by a musician called J.P. Morgan. J as in J-Y-E-P Morgan. Nothing to do with the bank. Maybe trance jazz. I mean, I like Willow's new album. That Willow. Everyone knows it's Willow. Will Smith's daughter, who did I Whip My Hair Back and Forth. You know that song, I Whip My Hair Back and Forth? Everyone loved I Whip My Hair Back and Forth. Famously, everyone was like, oh my god, this song came out. It was been played all over the world. Everyone was like, well, this is my favorite. This is the most musically complex song ever made. I Whip My Hair Back and Forth. But she released a fucking jazz album. And it's fucking good. Oh my god, oh, fuck me, she's into music. Oh, she's been studying music theory and oh really? Whoa! There's a song on that jazz album with John Batiste. It was a proper jazz album. There's famously the kind of main single from the album is in 7/4 and then switches to 4/4 for the chorus, and it uses loads of jazz chords and shit. Sick. The alerts work. I don't really like where they are. I only messed around with the video files. For the backgrounds. I didn't actually mess around with anything else. I don't want to mess with that. Matt, I got a free PS4 Slim from work today. After yesterday, dance stream, I finally found something to play on. What was yesterday's dance stream? I'm half keeping up with what Daniel's doing. Only half. I'm gonna just search it. Actually, I should know. It's in the Trello. I'm opening the Trello. It was. Thank goodness you're here. Yeah. Thank. Is that on PS4? Oh, interesting. I played the demo of that. I quite like that. It was very sweet. Kind of like Untitled Goose Game. It's got the vibe, but it's not like Untitled Goose Game. It's got the vibe of Untitled Goose Game. You know. For me playing the demo, I've actually played a few. I played Indica all the way through the other week after Daniel did a video on it, which. Indica's pretty good. It's buggy as fuck. Oh my god, it was fucking buggy as shit when I played it. Jesus Christ. You'd be walking along. I don't know whether because I played it in Russian. It's set in Russia, right? My thing with video games, because I'm a piece of shit, is that if I can play it in like the native language of where the video game is supposed to be set, but have everything else in English, I will. Like playing Assassin's Creed games in, playing Assassin's Creed 2 in Italian sounds nice. Couldn't really do it then because you have to change the whole game language, but now it can be different. But I played the whole thing in Russian because it's set in Russia, like it's set in Russia pre the kind of revolution, so it's like, but it's still near World War One. Or it's like during World War One. I don't know what year it's set. It's sort of around there, and it's really fucking weird. But it's buggy. You're walking along, right? And she's like, "Hi, I'm over here," and she's like speaking. Everything's at a fairly normal volume, and then he's like, "Hi, I'm here," and then it goes into her head, and she's like, "So I was over here," and I'm like, "Jesus!" And then like someone in your head talks to you, and he's like, "How you doing? How you doing?" And I'm like, "What are you fucking saying? What's happening? What are you saying? What the fuck are you saying?" Oh, and it was buggy. It kept bugging out for me a few times, but it's good. It's only like 4 or 5 hours long, the whole game. You can play it in like one sitting, or one extended sitting, or like 2 reasonable sittings, which is what I did. I don't really get a lot of it, but it's definitely a critique on Christianity, which I am fine with, because Matt doesn't like religion. Who knew? It's been a while. I plan to reboot the backlog log. I want to do streams properly again. I am kind of going to ease into it with doing just occasional streams. I think I'm going to try and do them on Saturdays at the bare minimum, like in the day, like around now. I mean, I can't do watch parties anymore because Twitch removed the fucking feature. They just removed the fucking feature. They were like, well, this is a bit shit, and rather than improve it, we're just going to remove it because that's fucking Amazon in a nutshell, isn't it? Actually, that's Amazon and Google in a nutshell. They just love to like make things and then just completely fucking drop them. What do I think of the last Doctor Who season? I didn't like Doctor Who ever, right? Well, I say ever. I liked Eccleston's first season a lot. I watched that when it aired, and I was like, I'm enjoying this. And I was watching Tennant's kind of first couple of seasons. I was like, I'm enjoying this, but I just kind of fell off it. I got bored. I think I got bored around like Martha. Like I only really watched. I was never into Doctor Who. Like Daniel's into Doctor Who. There is a bit of a there's a little bit of an assumption with me, especially, that I like sci-fi. And the thing is, I don't like sci-fi. I don't like sci-fi. I like Star Trek. I don't like I'm not like a sci-fi fan, right? I don't really like any other like science fiction show. I mean, you can argue Doctor Who's really not science fiction. It's more like fantasy, science, whatever. Point is, yeah. But I tried the new series was coming out, and I went, okay, you know what? The vibe's different. The Jodie's famously terrible. Dangle Trip forced me to watch a few of Jodie's, and I went, fuck me, these are awful. But I went, fuck it, man, I'll give Doctor Who a go, right? I'll give Doctor Who a go. So I actually rewatched everything. I rewatched all the way from Eccleston. I watched all of Tennant's run. I watched Donna, because that was the big thing I wanted to watch, because Tennant was coming back. And I was like, well, I've not really watched any of Donna stuff, and I watched all the Donna stuff, and I was like, that season's great. Then I was like, here's Matt Smith, and I'm like, oh god, Matt Smith, because I never liked Matt Smith. And you know what? I watched all of Matt Smith's run. I didn't hate it. I wasn't hugely enthused, but it was fine. And then I got to the other bit of Doctor Who where I tried to get in Capaldi's first season. And that was also where I tried to watch. I got 6 episodes in and went, oh god, because it's like the Forest of London or whatever, which is like one of the worst rated episodes of Doctor Who. And I remember getting to that and going, god, this is shite, and I completely checked out. And when I was rewatching it, I also got up to there and got to that episode and went, oh god, and I haven't actually watched any more since after that. But I did watch the new season, so I kind of I skipped Capaldi and Jodie. Even though I don't want to skip Capaldi, because I know, especially the later seasons with Bill are quite good. But I was fine with it. The new series, it's got that classic thing that a lot of television does now, like Star Trek Strange New Worlds does it, where they go, right, we get a big budget now, but rather than stretch that to make, I don't know, 15, 20, like, smaller concept ideas that rely on, like, a more limited budget, and you have to kind of rely on the writing, they go, right, we're going to make 10 episodes with a really high budget. But a high budget doesn't mean they're good, is the thing. It just kind of means if it's bad, you've wasted more money on it, which I don't like. Because a show that's only got 10 episodes a season means they're not really going to try anything. Which I don't like. I don't even like it in Strange New Worlds. Really, like I like Strange New Worlds as a show, to be clear, but like half the appeal of one of the appeals of Star Trek to me was always, especially TNG and DS9 and Voyager, was that you would have these episodes where they went, right, we don't have a budget to do fucking anything. We have these sets. We have basically no VFX budget. Hell, we can't even really pay most of the actors, so we're just going to do like an episode with these 3 fucking actors. We're going to do a bottle episode with 3 fucking actors, and it's stuff like that. You get really interesting character moments. Some of my favorite episodes of sort of Star Trek are these sort of episodes that came out of budgetary restrictions, and they had to kind of write around it, and I always think they were interesting. So, Doctor Who felt a bit like, I mean, fuck. To be clear, I love Shooty. He was teaching everyone to pronounce Shooty, and there's this wonderful thing where he was being interviewed later on, and he's like his mum called him, and he said, "You've been telling everyone to pronounce your name Shooty," and he's like, "Yeah, that's how you pronounce it," and she's like, "No, it's not," and he's like, "What do you mean, no, it's not?" And it's like, and she's like, "It's pronounced Nshooty," and I'm like, and he's like, "What? How am I only just finding this out?" So, but he's fine with everyone calling him Shooty because he's been telling everyone to call him Shooty, but his name's actually pronounced Nshooty. Fascinating. Anyway, Shooty's great. I love him. He is, mwah, 10 out of 10. Excellent. Love. He is just wonderful. I love him, so much. But I don't really like much else about it. I like Shooty. I don't really like anything else. Actually, I'm just going to quickly look up the episode. By the way, this is like a test stream, so I'm just going to sit here chatting for a little bit and then leave. And answer some questions and just kind of make sure everything works. I hope my mic's fine. Is the volume fine? Does it sound like shit or not? This mic should sound a lot better than it is, but I can never get it set up right. Doctor Who. I'm gonna give you a quick review. Of Shooty's episodes, because I watched all of them, and I didn't like a lot of them. Episodes. Church on Ruby Road, fine, a bit silly, but Christmas episodes tend to be whatever. Space Babies. It felt very PG, which fine. I don't like babies at the best of times, so I'm just sort of like, babies. It's fine, whatever. The Devil's Cord. I liked everyone in the Devil's Cord. I liked all the choreography in the Devil's Cord. I liked the set design in the Devil's Cord. I liked the references in the Devil's Cord. I didn't like the Devil's Cord. It just... The new Doctor Who season, I mean, not Moffat, Davies mentioned that, something about the Toymaker, kind of, it opened up the box of it being sillier and it being a bit more like magic, you know, like having literally mystical deities and stuff like that. That's a valid thing. Fine. It's not my thing. Really? It's not my thing, but yeah. The Devil's Cord was interesting with the inherent nightmare quality. Yeah, but it felt like they had the concept and then they couldn't really think how to get there, so they just kind of ham-fisted in and then ham-fisted out at the end, and I don't know, I feel like it lacked an hour. I don't know, it just feels a bit... Doctor Who's always been a bit throw shit at the wall, but it felt a bit more throw shit at the wall, even though I absolutely loved... Oh, God, what's the name? Jinx. I love Jinx Monroe. Jinx and Sue? Jinx Monroe. Jinx... One of the... Jinx. They were great. But, I mean, the thing is, it was kind of a Beatles episode, and obviously I live in Liverpool, so my Beatles knowledge is quite good. Like, you know, I go to get bread from the shops, and you're like, you know, I have to walk past like 7 Beatles things. You know, I don't know. I thought the whole basis was a bit silly. Whatever, not my thing. Right? Boom. Boom was a Moffat written episode. I kind of liked Boom. I felt like from a writing perspective, they kind of Shooty just went up to 100 right away. There wasn't really any bit like lead in to him. Like Boom, it was this really emotional and a powerful episode, like where Shooty was really acting it. But it's like this. It's like the 3rd episode. It was really just. Boom was fine. Boom was fine. I like Boom near enough. 73 odds, I was watching it, and I was sat there like almost the whole episode going, I'm into this mystery, and then it just goes, yeah. And I'm like, yeah? And it's like, yeah. Just builds up this big mystery and goes, yeah, I don't know. I'm like, you don't know? It's like, yeah. And he just kind of hand waves, and I'm like, well, you can't just do that. And it's like, yeah, we can. Oh, the world's mystical now. And I'm like, no, you can't just use mystical to just explain away kind of just wishy-washy writing and like lack of dot and Bubble. I liked Dot and Bubble. Dot and Bubble just felt like a Black Mirror episode. Really. Rogue. I loved Rogue. Rogue was great. Rogue felt like a proper Doctor Who episode. I loved Rogue. Legend of Ruby Sunday and the Empire of Death. Didn't really like either of those. It just felt a bit rushed. I mean, it was only 8 episodes, really. It just all felt a bit... And there was this whole thing with Ruby at the end, and it was big and emotional. I'm like, I don't really feel like I've gotten to know. I mean, keep in mind as well, out of those 8 episodes, right? Space Babies, Shooty's obviously there for a lot of it. The Devil's Cord, mainly Shooty. Boom, it's just Shooty on like one set. I mean, he's on the volume set, right? That famous. It's just him on the volume set. Fine. 73 odds, Shooty's barely in it. Dot and Bubble, Shooty's barely in it. Rogue, I mean, Shooty's in a lot in Rogue, but like, Shooty, I felt like I barely got to know him as the Doctor, and he was great, and I was really kind of disappointed that like out of the 6 episodes, because there's 2 finale episodes, which is the Big Bang thing, whatever, fine, but there's only 6 episodes that were kind of leading up to that, and out of those 6 episodes, 2 of them barely had him in, and another one was just him like stood still on a soundstage. And I'm like, I don't really feel like I got to know Shooty's Doctor. I did not feel like I got to know Ruby. It just felt a bit, everything about it just felt a bit rushed, which I didn't really like. Right. Typically comments, in the time you haven't streamed and moved twice, got a degree and moved to Ireland. Oh, you moved to Ireland. Oh, good on you. Yeah. The whole who's Ruby's mum, and them just going, yeah. I'm like, what do you mean, yeah? You know what? A lot of it reminded me of. A lot of it reminded me of like, what was his name? J.J. Abrams, sort of like, J.J. Abrams is like mystery boxes, right? Like, oh, what's in the box? You're like, oh, I don't know. And he's like, ooh, he's got all this lore around the box. You open the box and there's nothing in the box. And you're like, what? And he's like, oh, it was part of the story that there was nothing in the box. And I'm like, it still doesn't really make me care about it, though. Like, I'm not talking from an objective point of view. Like, I'm talking entirely subjective as to what I liked and disliked. No, I didn't really like most of it. Whatever. I watched it, I went, eh. I went, meh. And that was sort of it. Yeah, how did Ruby keep making it so? I don't know. Something about the TARDIS and memories of... I don't... It was all a bit wishy-washy, and that's honestly the bit I never liked about Doctor Who. I didn't like the wishy-washiness. I don't mind the wishy-washiness when it's kind of played as a joke. Because a lot of stuff in sci-fi is kind of played as a joke, especially with its production issues. But that's what I never really liked about Doctor Who, admittedly, and it's just the stuff I didn't really ever like about Doctor Who again. Like, and like, I was watching, because I rewatched a lot of Who before that. I still love Eccleston's run. I still love his run. I still think that's great. I mean, his run's short as well, but I felt like I properly got to know him. Good actor, a lot of dark themes, some good bits of comedy, but it actually took itself seriously and got really did some horror stuff, and it was like, oh, and it was just all over the place, and I thought that was great. But then Matt Smith just goes all over the place, and I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I don't know, it just felt... it reminded me of the Martha series of Tennant and like all of Matt Smith's run, which I know some people really like, and they were what I didn't really care for. So, yeah. Oh, God. Everyone's like, Russell T Davies, yeah, he's back. Come on, the Doctor was Space G. There's a whole thing where the Doctor's like a little shriveled Gollum and then it becomes Space Jesus, and everyone's like, yay, everyone's like praying for the Doctor, and the Doctor's like, I'm Space Jesus now, and the prayers make him into Space Jesus, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, what the fuck is it? What the fuck is this? Because on one hand, the show is like, oh, I'm very sciencey, we're trying to like technobabble everything away, and on the other hand, it's like, yeah, don't think about it. And they're like, what do you want? Do you want me to think about it, or do you want me to not think about it? Because Star Trek basically always goes, you got to think about it, right? It's always thinking about it, Star Trek. That's kind of the vibe of Star Trek. Fine. But Doctor Who doesn't know really where it wants to be. I'm like, no, just pick a lane. I like, if I shouldn't care about it at all, that's fine. It's just fantasy then and whatever. But it's never really quite that. It's not my thing. That's kind of what it is. I think Shooty's great. I like how a lot of it was directed, but it's kind of, I don't really like modern TV, and it's kind of for a lot of the reasons that is. I don't like these shorter seasons of stuff where everything's this hour long. You know, they do fucking 6 to 10 hour long episodes that are just needlessly high budget, and they don't really need the high budget a lot of the time. And you know, there was a kind of filler episode in that season as well. I mean, a boom was, I mean, they were filming on the volume on a single set, right? Like that was the cheap episode. But I'm a big fan of TV of stuff that goes, okay, we're going to do 20 episodes of like 45 minutes each, and we're going to struggle with the budget for a lot of them, but it requires you to actually have good character moments, and it gives opportunity for kind of story and stuff like that. And that's kind of what I like personally. Yeah. Timberlake, what are your thoughts on Robert Downey Jr. being back in the... I don't really care about the MCU. I don't give a fuck anymore. I mean, like, Daniel's into it still. I don't care. I mean, Endgame happened and it went, well, that was the end of that then. That was a nice, you know, wrapped it up in a bow, and then it went, and we're going to do more. And I'm like, I don't care. I watched Deadpool and Wolverine, though. I fucking love that. That was good fun. I went to see that at midnight showing. To be clear, I did something I've literally never done in a cinema before, right? I went like this. Yes! At one point, just never done that before. One moment in that film made me do that, and it felt like very me. I'm not going to give any spoilers, and please don't anyone give any spoilers, because it's a lot of... It made me laugh a lot, and it was very tongue-in-cheek, and I'm kind of watching it, and I kept being surprised, because I'm like, that just feels like that. That doesn't feel like Disney or Marvel would okay that sort of thing. That just feels weird that it's allowed. It's weird that it's weird that a lot of it was happening. But I had good fun with it. How's the Marvel stuff going? I stopped playing it ages ago. Apparently there's a bug as well. Like Daniel invited me to this fucking thing, and it's supposed to be like the highest rank you've ever been. And my highest rank was like 93 or something like that. I never got to Infinite. But apparently it says I'm like 30. I've kind of, I don't know. Look. Yeah. Typically, Thomas, I like when sci-fi explains it's bullshit as bullshit. The first thing I think of is the sneak peek of Daniel's Paradox, where he says, based on scientific principle, tells space time to go fuck itself. Yeah, but that's not really hand-waving it away, either. Because the concept of, like, using, like, tiny wormholes in Daniel's book, it's the idea of, the idea behind it is it's the one kind of teleportation that doesn't require, like, scrambling your atoms, like in Star Trek, and there's this whole philosophical thing of, like, if you're just disassembling someone and reassembling someone, or they're the same person. But in a wormhole, you're just stepping through. There's no any of that nonsense. But you don't need to explain necessarily all the stuff behind how they make the wormhole work. You can technobabble it all you want, but you can make the joke of, well, we're not going to bother with the technobabble. You can kind of understand that. You know, society might be able to do that. Fuck it. Space-time can go fuck itself, right? Good one. Cool. It's fine with that. Derpy chap, be honest, you enjoy the new Deadpool movie because it's anti-woke, apparently. Is it anti-woke? I don't think it was anti-woke. It throws some jokes in, like modern kind of culture jokes, which just felt very non-committal either way. Right, I always have been saying that. Of course they are. I mean, the problem with... So I went to the midnight showing of it, and it was a really funny thing, because one of the reasons I've always loved going to... Actually, it's the first midnight showing I've gone to since, like, COVID. It's obviously stopped for a long time, but one of the reasons I always like going to them is because for most of the films I've ever seen at a midnight showing, I don't actually really care about... I mean, I didn't really care about Deadpool and Wolverine very much. But I quite enjoy going, because you kind of get the vibe of the people who like it, and I think it's really interesting. you know, there's this classic thing with superheroes. Like, I like Batman, right? But most people who like Batman are like, he's gruff and he's cool. And I'm like, I like him running around with a big bomb that says bomb on it. And he's like, no, I don't want to bomb the duckies, you know. Oh no, a brass band. Hilarious. And I love that that character can be that and simultaneously, I'm Edward Cullen and I'm really gruff and I'm sad. And I'm like, excellent, 10 out of 10, no notes. Right? I think the character's kind of silly, and I like that he's all over the place. That's why I like Batman, because he's just... Well, other characters all over the place like that. That's fun. Beep, beep. But, like, I mean, you know, people always claim, like, fucking superheroes as, you know... You're fucking right-wingy and silly, fucking... I don't know, I was trying to think of a word to use there. I was going to use nut jobs, but I don't like the phrase nut jobs. But yeah, you know, everyone, you know, I liked the Punisher. Like, I like the movies, the Punisher movies, the old ones. I thought they were fun. Because they're fun. They're just like a bit of 90s kind of trash action, right? They're kind of trash, and in that 90s way where they take themselves quite seriously, but they're not very serious. That's fun. But obviously, the Punisher is just associated with this like far right police thing, you know. Like if I see someone wearing a Punisher shirt, I go, I look at them and I go, yeah, give him a wide berth, you know. And I have that vibe with Deadpool, because Deadpool is just very people can use Deadpool to do whatever they want. Have you seen any episodes of The Boys? Yeah, I've seen the new season. I've also fallen off The Boys. The Boys feels like another show. Oh, God. American shows do this, right? Like, they go, we've made one really strong season. Let's make another. And they just kind of keep doing that until they inevitably get cancelled. Because they kind of just keep going. And I'm like, this is a different show now. I don't really care about it. Also, right, The Boys... I mean, there was a joke in The Boys graphic novel that it wasn't subtle. But Jesus, this last series of The Boys was... Oh, God, it was the least subtle thing I've ever seen in my... It just had no fucking ideas of its own, bless it. Because it just went, what if Trump bought Superman? And I'm like, you're not even going anywhere different with it. You're not going, oh, let's put a spin on, you know, there's no spin on it. Yeah, I was just watching it and going, God, this just feels a bit... It just feels like the most boring thing you could have done, you know? It feels like the most surface level, you know, it just feels very unclever. I don't know. I'm not that I thought The Boys was clever, but, like, the first season of The Boys is telling its own story. Whereas this season of The Boys kind of just felt like it was just like, America now! And I'm like, I know that, though. Like, you know, like shows are meant to take stuff to like an extreme, like the whole Star Trek. I always use Star Trek, but you know, there's that classic Star Trek racism example where they, you know, have this planet and there's one people with a fully white on one side and fully black on the other side, and then the other race is like just flipped around, and it's used as this sort of thing. So like, isn't this silly? Look, and The Boys felt like it was trying to do that, but it wasn't taking a thing and putting it in a different context. It was just taking the thing and being like, isn't this concerning? And I'm like, yeah, but that's exactly what's happening in the real world. That isn't interesting. You're not doing some... okay. Right. All the other series had a bit of a curveball somewhere, but this one didn't. It just felt a bit... I was bored. I'm bored by a lot of stuff lately, if I'm honest. I'm kind of watching... This just kind of feels like it exists just to keep the name going more than anything. That's kind of a bit what some... I mean, Doctor Who doesn't always feel like that, but a bit, and The Boys felt very much like that, and, you know, I like Deadpool. I mean, Deadpool's, obviously, it's incredibly referential, right? Like, it sort of relies on you knowing about all of the superhero stuff over the past, like, 20, 30 years, right? Not just the MCU, but everything. And it doesn't make it objectively good. I just like that, because it just feels like it's like, oh, here's a bunch of fun. Like Lower Decks, right? Lower Decks to me isn't a serious Star Trek thing. I watch it, and it goes, hey, you like Star Trek, look at these references, and I'm like, haha. And we all kind of like wink at the joke. It's like, you know, making a joke between all, you know, you and your mates are having a joke about Star Trek and that kind of thing. It feels a bit like that, but it's not a good, like, I want something, I don't know. But they don't take themselves seriously. I don't know. I'm a bit tired of it. Someone said if I watch Shogun, I'm not watching. I rewatched all the Steven Universe recently. It's a bit like doing that. Got very frustrated because holy shit, trying to watch Steven Universe in the UK is frustrated. It's frustrating. Season 1 is on Now TV, and season 4 and 5 are on Now TV. The rest are on like Prime, like you can buy them through like Google Play or Amazon Prime or Apple TV. But in the US, they sell like a full box set, which is all of the episodes for like, $70 or whatever. In the UK, Cartoon Network insists on selling Steven Universe in volumes. And there's like 15 volumes, and they're all like 15 quid. And they've got like 8 episodes each in, and they're not in order. But because they're doing that, but because Apple TV displays it in seasons like it's supposed to be, but Cartoon Network is not selling it like that, it just creates this weird disconnect. And then there's a couple of episodes missing. And you know what happened the other fucking day, right? So we watched through all of it, right? And watched the movie. I bought Steven Universe Future when it came out on like originally, right? I just bought it on Apple TV and I watched all of it on Apple TV. For some reason, everything past episode 6 is just gone. I have the first 6 episodes of Steven Universe Future. You can watch the first 6 episodes of Steven Universe Future. You can buy it on Amazon Prime. You can buy it on Google Play. You can buy it on Apple TV. You can't buy episode 7 to 20 at all. Why? I'm pretty sure I did buy it. Where's it gone? Because it doesn't even list it as existing on any of these apps either. Like, it just goes, well, yep, the last episode, episode 6. And I'm like, what? So, to watch the rest of Steven Universe Future, I've had to pirate it. I'm sat there with them all open. I was looking everywhere. Like, I was even looking for DVDs and stuff like that. You cannot fucking buy it. You cannot fucking buy it. And I'm so annoyed. Oh, wow, Bunicon, 45 months in a row. Ooh, I'm surprised people still sub to me over the past. But I've still got 16 subscribers. Oh, thanks. Last year. It's just like the thing of like my thing of pirating. It's always the argument, isn't it? If you make something convenient for people to buy, they'll buy it, and that's always been my rule, right? Like back like fucking 15 years ago when I was like dirt fucking poor, I couldn't buy anything. Like I watched all of Star Trek by pirating it. Like I couldn't buy it. There was no streaming services. I couldn't afford it, right? Like, but the second I could afford it, I fucking bought all of it. I put my money like. When I used to have an Odeon Limitless Pass, which I don't anymore because I don't really go to the cinema, but when I did, if I would go and see a film, and I really liked the film, I would go home and pre-order it immediately digitally just to fling some money at it. Because, I always have the attitude of, especially in creative media, you kind of have to vote with your wallets to a certain degree, and I like to throw money at things I like in the hopes that, because, money men just tend to look at money, and I'm going to be like, look, I give money, this thing good, please make more thing, thank you, is my sort of philosophy, if, I have the disposable income to do it. So that's what I was trying to do with Steven Universe, but you can't even fucking buy all of it, because Cartoon Network is a fucking piece of shit. Outside the US, though, everywhere, in the US, you can get everything normally. You can just buy all of Steven Universe on these things for like 50 quid, and just have it all. Let alone, not only can you not buy all of it just easily, internationally, but you can't even buy all of it. Like, yeah, there's a lot of films you can't get, but like, at least with some films, like you mentioned Popeye, right? You can't, like, there might not be anywhere to stream it, but you can still buy it. You can still buy it on DVD. You can buy it on Blu-ray, right? Like, I mean, it's on Amazon for 6 quid on DVD. I'm not saying that's a good option, but at least at the bare minimum, there is one, right? Even if it's a bad option. And my attitude would always be, well, if there was at least one option, I would fling money at it and just pirate it to watch it. I'd still fling money at it in some way. But no, I can't fling money at some Steven Universe stuff. No, they just Cartoon Network don't want my money, apparently. Fuck you. Fuck. Could you imagine, right? You can buy all of it in the UK. You can buy all of it. You can watch all of it. And you get to episode 6 of Steven Universe Future, right? And it's leading up to this, like, big, huge emotional conclusion of this show. That's like, 5 seasons in a movie, and plus a prologue season, right? And it just stops near the end. What? God, that'd be so fun. Like, if I hadn't watched it before, right? And I was watching it for the first time, and I wasn't, and I didn't know how to pirate something. That's just it. Fuck you. Fuck you. You invested all that time for a conclusion. No, fuck you. It's frustrating. Very frustrating. Oh, yeah. Budokan had the same issue with Adventure Time. Yeah, Adventure Time is also annoying. Now, there is a slight silver lining with Adventure Time in that you can buy it in 3 volumes. Like, there's Adventure Time Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. Like, Adventure Time, the complete collection, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. It's expensive, but you can. And Now TV's awkward with it, because Now TV's a piece of shit as well. Now TV's got all the HBO Max stuff, if you're in the US, but it's a piece of shit. Basically. Again, there's an option. But, those last 14 episodes of Steven Universe Future, you cannot buy in any format in the UK. Period. At all. Right. Let's have a look. Yep, Steven Universe Future is... You can't get it on Amazon. You can't even buy Steven Universe really on Blu-ray. You can get Steven Universe Volume... Season 1's here, but I couldn't find anything past Season 1. You just can't fucking get it! You just can't fucking get it. How much 98 shit off eBay have you fixed in Time Away? Not much, honestly. I mean, Time Away, it's not like I've been... Effectively, in my time away, I've not really been doing hobbies. I have been, through no fault of Dan or Rebecca, to be clear, but I've been horribly overworked. Horribly overworked by lots of just... I have to micromanage a lot of things at the moment, and it is exhausting. Absolutely exhausting. I did still buy 1980 stuff. Because I'm still vaguely keeping an eye on it, but I have not really been in my office. There's been a PS3 on my workbench. Like an 80 gig, a PS2 back and pack PS3, sat on my workbench. I think for almost a year now. It's dusty. The top is dusty. My friend gave me this because he got it in a car boot and it was kind of broken. And he said, "Could you take a look at it and try and fix it?" And I went, "Sure." It's been sat there, completely he disassembled it, foolishly. He disassembled it. They went, "Could you have a look at it?" And he gave me it in a bag, just disassembled. And I went, "What?" And he's like, "Oh, I didn't know how to put it back together." And I went, "Did you not follow the guide in reverse?" She's like, "I didn't use a guide to disassemble it." And I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm not... At least, if fine, don't use a guide, whatever, but at least document how you took it apart. Oh, it's the most basic shit. But it's there to do, and I've got, several hi-fi systems to do. With, vinyl, I ended up just buying a, refurbished, nice record player. With a preamp built in for, my living room. To listen to proper vinyls. I've still got one of my hi-fi system, one of my Sony hi-fis in my office. It's basically working the tape deck. I also got a couple more hi-fis to try and make one working hi-fi. I'm hoping I can just combine 3 of these Sony hi-fis together to make one that works, because all of them have a different problem. Oh yeah, PS3 is just fucking explode and die. For various different reasons. But whatever. I'm gonna have fun with that eventually. There's lots of things that I've got they're physically stacked up that I'm like, this will happen eventually. So I never got it properly working. The hi-fi, there was the one I was doing on stream, the original one I was doing, and I did get it properly working, but what fucked me off is that I was trying to repair I was trying to replace the tape deck motors. Because tape decks just fucking die. For 2 reasons. A, the rubber, the actual, the belts just go. The tape deck belts, for some reason, out of all belts, you can get a record player from, the 80s, and the belt will be, worn, but, in one piece. Tape deck belts, every single one I've ever got, has just turned into oil. It's just turned into goo. But, so there's that, but also, even once you replace that, the motors that these tape decks run on are often very heavily worn. And as a result, they kind of they don't run smoothly. They have this wobble, right? So if you listen to a tape, it goes, it kind of has this wobble to it. And you can only really fix that by replacing the motors, but no one makes new motors. And this weird Sony one I had, it was using very non-standard motors, so I basically bought a more standard motor, and I kind of just soldered individual points on, and I was like, oh, this works. Stupidly, in the fucking design thing, the old motor had this bit of rubber on the front, which I assumed was just for stability, sort of thing, and it was part of the motor, and the new motor didn't have it. When I was testing it, I just could have put the motor in and make it work. No, without that bit of rubber, the entire thing shorts. The whole thing. Because the bottom, where the board is, isn't isolated from the case. And the bracket that holds the motor on isn't isolated from anything else. So, if you put power through it, it's the grounding on the motor just shorts the entire thing. And it just stopped working. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then I was like, right, maybe it's a bad capacitor or something, because I didn't know what shorted, and it's very hard to figure out what shorted. So I went, fuck it, I've replaced basically all the capacitors. So I replaced all the fucking capacitors on it. I turned it on, it still didn't fucking work. Which I was so angry about. I mean, I could still potentially get it working. I got another 2 hi-fis of, like, basically the same ones. Or very similar ones. I got one that's, I guess, a variation on the one I got. It's just got a different radio. It's clearly a slightly more expensive one, but it's the same board. It's just got a different solder port. I'm going to deal with it at some point. It's just a faff. It's just a faff. It's a lot of faff. And I like a bit of faff. You know me, I love a bit of faff. But lately, I've not really had time to faff. So I've not been faffing. I got an Xbox. You know, actually, that's what I did. I bought a fucking Xbox. I bought a Series X. You know why I bought a Series X? I made my living room nice, finally, to play games on my sofa. Because, again, I like PC gaming quite a lot, but it's a faff. I just haven't had the energy to faff in any context. Like, even just setting up graphics on the base level, I just haven't. I just don't. One of the reasons I love the Switch so much is you turn the Switch on, and it goes, here's your games. And I go, okay, that one, please. And it goes, okay. And that's the end of the sentence. And you turn on the PlayStation 5, and it's like, no, you need to update, and you need to update your controller. No, we can't connect to the internet. Oh, this game needs an update, but you can't do it. Oh, what about this game? Oh, you can try to play that game, and that one. Well, I'll go into this menu. No, it's a different menu. Oh, that menu's back. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You just turn the PC, you open the fucking PC, and every time I turn Windows on, it's like, we've got 70 updates. You must do them. We've downloaded them. And I'm like, no, I just want to play again. It's like, no, you must restart your computer now. Oh, whoops, we blue screen. I'm like, oh, God. And the Xbox Series X I got because I'm like, right, I can play a lot of Xbox games back compat with it, so it's just this big thing. It's got a bunch of original Xbox games on it that you can either just buy, or I can take my SSX3 disc that I bought 20 years ago on my original Xbox and put it in to the Series X, and I can play it. I mean, it uses the disc validation, and it downloads the version from the store, but still, I can play it in 4K, 4K 60. Excellent. I can put all 360 discs in there. It's got Game Pass on it, so I can just play loads of stuff on Game Pass. Loads of the stuff that's on Game Pass PC is on Game Pass on the Xbox. So I was like, great. I'm having a great time with it. I really like the Xbox. I mean, it's still an Xbox, so it's still got the classic, you turn it on and there's a fucking advert for Specsavers on your home screen. Like, why the fuck is there an advert for Specsavers? And it's a bit of a mess. But, I like it more than the play. Having used all 3 current consoles quite a lot. I hate the PS5. God, I fucking hate it. I was sat up one night, I was playing Hades on the PS5. Because I just wanted to play it in 4K on a big screen. And I was sat there, and I could just hear... And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I'm listening, it's the PS5. It's just like they're going, woo, playing Hades. Because Sony, in classic fucking Sony form... the first editions of the PS5 that all the reviewers got, like Daniel got and everyone, like, and all the people who pre-ordered it got, has this massive fucking heatsink, so the thing is silent, right? And then they have had like 7 fucking revisions since then, and every one they make the heatsink smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So... modern PS5s are just noisy now. Great, love that. Or like something breaks, and Sony just doesn't have support. Like, I had a controller break, but it wasn't an issue listed on their support site. And because of that, you could not get support. It was not an option. Fuck you. And I'm like, what do you mean, what? So then I repaired it myself. But of course, DualSense controllers, even though they all look the same, there's actually 4 separate revisions of DualSense controller, and they are actually significantly different internally. They use different trigger components, they use different actual like solder points, they use different buttons, like the molds are different. So you can't just take a trigger off, like a trigger plastic off one. Like Xbox One controller parts are compatible with the most modern Xbox controller parts. Like they, no. There's just 4 separate fucking versions of DualSense controllers. So I bought like replacement parts, and oh Jesus Christ, I hate it. I hate it. I hate the fucking PS5. I hate it. I feel like every single thing I do, Sony sat there going, "We're really good." You sat there playing a game and you can just hear, "What the fuck's that?" And I look over in the corner and fucking Sony's jerking themselves off. I'm like, "Yeah, we're really good. We're really, yeah, fucking yeah. Look at those Xbox triangles and circles and squares. Fuck yeah!" And I'm like, "Work, just do your job." And it's like, no. I got so annoyed playing Hades on the PlayStation that I because it was just going woo, and I'm late. It's late at night. It's quiet, so it's going woo. So I got really annoyed. I turned my PlayStation off. I opened the Xbox. I bought it on the Xbox, and now I'm playing on the Xbox. The Xbox is fucking silent. It is silent. It is whisper quiet. The Xbox. Big fan of the Series X. Also, right, Sony does this thing where I was like, Sony's got the best IPs. Sony, like, earlier this year was like, nah, we're not releasing anything this year. I'm like, what do you mean not really? What? And I'm like, nah. There's that one game, like Astral thing, but aside from that, none. I'm like, what? Anything else? And I'm like, hey, you can buy that for 70 quid. I'm like, I don't really want to buy that for 70 quid. And I'm like, well, yeah. I'm like, yeah. At least, because I've already got Game Pass Ultimate, so just go on the Xbox, and I'm like, I want to play that. And it goes, yeah, alright. Here you go. Yeah, Microsoft just closed down studio. The fact that Microsoft closed down the studio that made fucking Hi-Fi Rush is a travesty. They're all shit, to be clear. All of them are shit. Nintendo is Nintendo, and Nintendo is just weird. But in order of the systems I like, it goes Switch, Xbox Series X, PS5. Like, it is the bottom of the consoles for me, having used all of them now extensively. That has nothing to do with fanboyism. The PS5 is just the biggest faff out of all of them. It puts the most barriers in place in every thing it does. Whereas the Switch just goes, "Do you want a game?" I'm like, "Yeah." And it's like, "Here you go." I'm like, "Oh, all right." And yeah, it's underpowered, yeah, whatever. And it's why I got into the Xbox, because I was like sat on my sofa and I, got a nice television finally after fucking a decade. And I was like, I want to play stuff in 4K on my nice big screen, but obviously you plug a Switch in to a 4K screen, and oof. Woof, dear. Ooh, dearie me. Dearie me, it looks like shit. Like, it's fine, it's great handheld. Oh boy, but plugged in, I'm like, ugh. So I was like, right, I want something I can sit, and I was like, right, and there was some talk about getting, like, I got a Steam Deck as well. I got a Steam Deck. Well, I half got a Steam Deck with someone, we sort of share it. But that's still a bit of a faff, because but the Steam Deck doesn't pretend it's not a faff. You buy a Steam Deck, and Valve's like, right, just heads up, this thing's a faff. It's a faff. Everything's a bit wonky, but it's fine. We're trying, and I'm like, you know what? I appreciate the honesty. And it's wonky, but you can tell they're trying. And fuck me, there's like a one-click thing to install all the emulators on it, and it's the best. Oh, it's so good. Doing everything's a faff on the Steam Deck. Well, not everything, a lot of things. But I just would have thought, and I just was like, right, I want something I can press download in a game and play it on my television in 4K. And Microsoft's Xbox was like, you can do that to loads of old games that you own, and also loads of new games, and also Game Pass exists. So there's like 7 billion games on there that I want to play. So I've been using the Xbox a lot. Like, it's playing old games on a 4K screen. It's more like something like Hades, where I've played Hades on my PC, like at 4K, 5K sort of thing, and it's one of those games that like you're used to it being sharp, and then if you blow it up like the Switch version, you're like, ugh. I picked up the Series X last year for $369 during the Black Friday. Oh yeah, no, I managed to get a refurb. I've been getting a lot of refurb stuff, right? Especially Amazon's refurb. A lot of what Amazon counters refurbished is actually brand fucking new in box. Because if someone like buys something, just opens it and goes, no, I don't want this, and they haven't even turned it on or anything, and they just send it back. The Amazon sells it as refurbished for like a massive discount. So I think I got a Series X for like 290 or something ridiculous, new. Well, refurbished, but it was new. And yeah, the expansion cards. I mean, I got one because they use it like a proprietary expansion card, which, for better or worse, on one hand, because it's a full NVMe expansion card, it means it gets full speed. So you can still run games directly off it, you know, with all the modern blah, blah, and it's easy to take in and out and yada yada yada. But because it's proprietary, they are just able to cost it up. I think I mean, on Amazon right now, a 1 terabyte one is 147, which is a lot. But that's half price. But like, I got a 1 terabyte SD card for my Steam Deck. No, I got a 1.5 terabyte SD card for my Steam Deck. Micro SD card for my Steam Deck. A SanDisk one. For like 90? Which I thought was insane, because I remember like trying to shove like massive 1.5 terabyte hard drives that cost hundreds of pounds into a laptop, you know, fucking 15 years ago. So just get like have 1.5 terabytes or something the size of my little fingernails. Hilarious. But yeah, no, it's frustrating. But at least with I found the Xbox's download system was a bit better. But I did end up getting expansion. Like I managed to get everything much cheaper. Yeah, it does use a standard. Yeah, it's married, like classic Microsoft marrying the fucking drive to the console, right? Classic Microsoft. That's the thing. All the consoles, I think, are shit in their own ways. I just from a plugging something in and playing it perspective, which is right. That's what I want a console for. Right, I'm buying a console to minimize faff. If I sit down at my TV and I press a button, I just want to. I want to play a game. I don't want any faff. I just play the game, and. I mean, the Switch isn't really in that category, it's more of a handheld. So it's really just the PlayStation, the PS5, the Series X, and I guess PC. PC is obviously massive faff, I'm not fanning around with that. PS5 presents itself like it's not a faff, but it's fucking, I just feel like everything I do in the PS5, it fights me on. And the Xbox is full of, it's got lots of random ads on it, it's bloated because it's Microsoft, they just kind of shove random things in it. You know, you like scrolling and it's like, would you like to buy Dune 2? And I'm like, no, I want to know. You know, but like, if I click a game, it just goes, yo, I can play the game. Also, it's got a quick resume feature, which is my favorite thing. In that, anytime you just quit a game, it kind of saves its status, like to memory. So if you quit a game, or you don't actually quit a game, if you just exit out of a game and open another game, it'll just open the other game, right? But then you can just click the other game, you can, you know, press the Xbox button, go back to home, and then click the other game, and it will just put you right back where it was. Not based on a save point. I mean, it is like you just put the console on standby and then reopen the console, but it can do that for like multiple games at once, which is fucking amazing, because I can just stop in the middle of a Hades run, switch to another game, and switch back, and it's seamless, and it's the best thing. It's the only console that does it. The PS5 doesn't do it. The PS5's like, you must quit the game. It's the least faff. It's why I like it. And advantageously, because no one fucking likes the Series X, you can get it for fucking nothing. Like it works really well, it plays games really well, it's silent, it's got some really good quality of life stuff, and obviously Game Pass is the best deal in gaming still, even though Xbox have closed down stuff like that. And like there's stuff like, you know, like Flight Simulator, because like obviously I have Flight Simulator on the PC, right, and I bought a load of DLC in the game for it, but I can just install all of that to my Xbox still, because it shares a lot with the PC. I mean, there's a lot of games that I've played on PC that when I just opened them on the Xbox, it just kept me going. It just synced to my save, because basically the same thing. And I'm like, this is all very convenient. And backwards compatibility. Yeah, they've done a decent job. They have genuinely done a decent job with backwards compatibility. The funniest thing I have about the PlayStation, right? It happens every fucking time. Like, you click a PS5 game, or if it's like an older game especially, and I go, you know, I'd like to download that game, and you click the download button, and it goes, hey, do you want to download the PS5 version of this game, or the PS4 version? And I'm like, why the fuck would I want to download the PS4 version? In what fucking why would I want to do that? Why? And it's like, I'm just asking. I'm like, you don't need to ask. Just assume the PS5 version. Like, I'm fine with you having the PS4 version as an option for the one person who, for some reason, wants to do that. But, like, put it in a menu. Don't ask me every time. And it always displays, like, the size of the game in the store as the size of both the PS5 version and the PS4 version combined. So whenever it shows the size of a game, it's always double what it actually is. Because it's showing the size of both versions and together. And I'm like, what? What? Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. There's some edge cases where it's useful, but it's just like, I don't need to be asked every time. Why would you ask? Why would you? I remember it was one of my distinct memories of the PS5 was the experience playing Spider-Man Remastered. Because I had Spider-Man, the PS4 Spider-Man game, and I was like, oh, this is great. And, Daniel got me the PS5, and I was like, there's like 2 games to play, and I was like, you know what, I'd like to play Spider-Man Remastered. So I downloaded Spider-Man, the one I already owned, from the PlayStation Store. I downloaded it, I opened it up, and it looks like shit, right? It's the PS4 version. And I'm like, oh, why is it the PS4 version? Surely it would just run better. Right? Because that's how the Xbox does it, right? If you just open an older game, it will just run better. You don't need to buy a remastered one for a lot of things. It will just run. Like SSX3, prime example. If I stick SSX3 disc, my original Xbox disc, into a modern Xbox, it will just be like, okay, here's SSX3 at 4K, 60. And I'm like, oh, cool. Didn't have to buy it again. But it once 20 years ago. Whereas this game I bought like fucking a year earlier, they were like, no, you don't have that. And I'm like, well, how do I get it? And I had to Google it. You have to buy the special edition of Spider-Man Miles Morales. So I had to buy a different game to get the upgraded version of a game I already had. So then I did that, and I downloaded the PS5. I deleted the Spider-Man I had, the PS4 one, because the PS5 has can fit 3 games on it at once. And I downloaded the PS5 version of Spider-Man Remastered, and I opened it, and my save wasn't there. And I went, what the fuck? It was like, I had a transfer save button, and I clicked it, and it went, I can't find a save. And then I Googled it. You have to download the PS4 version and the PS5 version of Spider-Man at the same time, and then you have to open the PS4 version, press export on your save, export it, then you quit out of that, and then you open the PS5 version on the same console, and you click import, and then you import it. And I'm sat there going, this entire fucking process is... The whole thing, every single element, I hate it. All of it. Every step, they somehow added a needless convolution in. And extra price. I had to pay for that experience as well. Whereas the Xbox philosophy just seemed to be, if you've got a more powerful system, we'll run it more powerfully. We will run it at 4K, whatever, if it can, right? Like, there's a reason. There was this thing, obviously, when Red Dead Redemption had the little re-release, it got released on PS4 and the Switch, and everyone was like, why have they released a PS4 version? And it's because on the and they didn't release an Xbox version. It's because the Xbox version, if you run the Xbox 360 version of Red Dead Redemption on an Xbox Series X, it will just run at 4K 60. Nice. Whereas that didn't work. You couldn't run a PS3 game on a PS4 or a PS5, so they had to re-release a PS4 version that could run on a PS5 because, yeah. So that's the other thing with Xbox. They're like, oh, a lot of people say, like Daniel will argue it's got no games, and I'm like, it's got no games. The PS5 has like 3 games, and they're good, but it's just 3. Whereas for the Xbox faults, there's thousands of games, a lot of them, and I like, little ones. It wasn't 4K 30, yeah. I swear when I was playing Red Dead Redemption, it was 60 on the Xbox Series X. I mean, I could be wrong, but I swear it was 60. It was recently, though. Point is, it's a faff. It's a faff. Why do I have to rebuy a game I already own when I already own... Yeah, there's different versions. Like, this is the thing. There's different versions. I'm not even against different versions. I got the PS5 and I was like, I want to play Spider-Man in 60 FPS. And it took me like a day and like so much faff and Googling and downloading and re-downloading and opening. And I was like, you know what? I fancy playing SX3 again. And I put the disc in and it downloaded the 4 gigs of the game quick like that. And then it was like, okay, here's SX3. And I'm like, oh. Is that it? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh. Cool. Is it still true that the Xbox is trying to be an all-in-one media machine but forget my other games? No, it's definitely games first, but it is still trying to be an all-in-one thing. Like, it is still pushing, like, movies and TV shows and yada, yada, yada. But I don't actually mind that, because the other reason I got the Series X is as a 4K Blu-ray player. It's great for but the Xbox supports Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos, whereas the PS5 doesn't support Dolby Vision, and it's only recently got Dolby Atmos support, like addendumed. So the Xbox has way more like video options. So, and the way my TV works is like when it switches to a movie, it just goes into a different mode, so I can actually like have like a flawless 4K. It's a really good 4K Blu-ray player, which is the other reason I got it. Like I didn't just buy it for the games; I got it because I wanted a 4K Blu-ray player as well. And the PS5 can, but it's nah. The Xbox is just a very like honestly, if I could buy one, I mean, you know, it being all in one's kind of annoying for a lot of people, but admittedly, if I had to recommend, if someone was like, right, I don't own any gaming thing, I would like to buy a gaming thing to play games on, I'd just tell you to buy an Xbox. Like, I'd just tell you to buy a Series X, because it's the cheapest, like high-end option. It's the most flexible. You can get Game Pass for cheap. You can also rebuy a lot of old games. I mean, I say, like, all those original Xbox games, like SX3 and stuff like that, and Black, you could just buy them on the store for, like, a tenner. They're all like a tenner. Even if you don't own the disc, even if you don't want to go to a CEX and find your SX3 disc, you can just buy it for a tenner. Same with a load of 360 games, right? Like, it doesn't really fight me, ever. I'm not saying it's great. I'm not like being like, wow, it's the best thing. It's got loads of fucking problems and Microsoft's a fucking shitty. But out of the three of them, well, out of the and the PlayStation, it doesn't fuck me around ever, which I quite like. It fucks me around a lot less than the Xbox One did. I remember trying to use the. I remember me and Rebecca were like, we were wanting to watch a DVD like a couple of years ago, several years ago, in their living room. And Daniel was away, and we get the DVD and we put it in the Xbox, and then we click the DVD app, and it goes, you must download an update for the DVD app to use the DVD app. And we're like, why? And we're like, right, download the update. It goes, you're not signed in. I go, why? And it's like, oh, you need to sign in. And it's Daniel's Xbox, so we don't have his login. I'm like, why the fuck? So we get the login. Daniel sends the password when we log in. And then it goes, oh, you need to update your system to update the DVD app. And I'm like, what? And it's like, no, we need to update the system first. And then once we've updated the system, you can then update the DVD app, and then you can use it. And I'm like, what the So in the end, we didn't watch the movie. Right? We spent an hour faffing around with the Xbox trying to play a DVD and gave up. The Series X doesn't seem to have that problem. They seem to have, like, fixed a lot of stuff. So, cool. I can recommend it, especially because you can get it fucking dirt cheap. You can get a Series X dirt cheap, and if you're at all interested in playing old games or 4K Blu-rays, I fully recommend it. I mean, like, I'm looking on fucking the RRP currently on Amazon is, I mean, it's supposed to be 480, it's down to 460. There's a renewed one, which is what one I got. They've got a renewed one for 400, but like that's the highest. I did not buy it for that much money. Refurbished got three. Like I've seen them secondhand, basically new for like 300. The Series S would be a good option if I had an optical drive. I mean, kind of. Yeah, but the X is nice just because it can do proper 4K, which is part of what I wanted for. So I mean, for me, that's you can still buy 360 games on the store on the Xbox One Series, just not on 360. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I've just been busy. XP Cookie. Not really done hobby stuff. I'm trying to, because I realized the other day, right? My job has turned into faff. My job has turned into basically purely procedural stuff. It'd be a good upgrade path to the base Xbox One, but a lot of people still in physical games. I mean, yeah. But as I say, that you can get the Series X really cheap, like relatively speaking. So whatever. No, yeah, my job has basically become logistics and faff. Like no element of my job is creative at the moment, which I realized was sucking the life out of my body. The other day, right, like last week, I just offhand, I was like, I kind of went on the Nerdcube Twitch and realized that some of the stuff was still the old branding. And I kind of went into the back end and realized there was like emote slots and there was some animated ones. I was like, oh, like, and I was like, oh, my emotes are all, they don't have the red hair. So I just kind of updated the emotes a bit and I added some animated ones and I redid the branding. And I kind of came out of it and went, oh, I feel a lot better now. That was really motivating. So I realized I have to try and do a creative thing at least once a week to kind of at least keep me going. Because fuck me. Oh, only doing procedural shit is just fucking soul crushing. Absolutely soul crushing. Oh yeah, look, there's those animated ones, right? So I added animated versions of a lot of the Nerdcube ones, and I added some old Nerdcube emotes in, like some classic Nerdcube emotes, just like Daniel's stupid face, and I added rainbow versions of the 3 Nerdcube logos, which you can get depending on your subscriber status on the Nerdcube one. Like if you just follow the Nerdcube channel, you can get the Nerdcube logo emote, just the normal one. If you're subscribed, you get the rainbow one. If you are tier 2 subscriber, you can get the rainbow original, like the square one. And then if you are tier 3, you can get the original, like the old school Nerdcube logo rainbow one. And I added some new kind of animated ones to mine. I mean, I updated them all to have my red hair. I've got red hair now. But I've got like Grass Green Boy, and I've got fucking guy from Ultima for some reason. I can barely remember them. I also made the pride flags wave because I thought that was cute. I like the pride flags waving. I think it looks really fun. No, I haven't used my PC in ages. Let me scroll down. Emote. What the fuck? Channel emote effects. My emotes. Jesus. Again, Nerdcube ones. Like I quite like the idea of that you can just. Because, you know, having the pride flag's nice, but, like, you can wave the pride flag, and I think that's really fun. Like, yeah, isn't that nice? I kind of just filled the emote slots, just because there's some stuff that... And, like, you can get a rainbow hype thing if you... I just filled the emote slots. Like, some of them might not be permanent. I added some ones that I extracted from prints. So, like, there's Dan as Kirby, which is from one of the prints. There's me, Dan, and Rebecca as Mr. Men. And they're scaled to be like the ones, so like when you click all 3 of them, they are scaled to be like the the print. They're probably not going to stay, but I just kind of put them in to fill the slots and see if people would use them, because you never know what people might like. And then for mine, I'd rejigged some of mine, made some animated. I added in, there's a rain effect. I added in one of the old Nerdcube emotes of like Daniel being sad in the shower, but now it's raining. Because on this channel, I have one emote for Daniel and one emote for John. John's is a rainbow. I mean, really, the three of us, really, they're all animated. There's Bread, Slidey, and Bread Matt. Which I just thought was fun. I've got sexy dancing, Bread, Matt. Sexy. Little things are fun. You have to do little things, and I felt like I have to start streaming again just to... I found it motivating for my brain, even though it was tiring as fucking shit. Like, I want to do the backlog slog again. That's the main thing I'll bring back. I want to bring back. Just because I really like doing it. The problem with the backlog slog... they were a lot of work. They were a huge amount of work, like, both before the stream. Like, they were quite a huge amount of setup before the stream. And during the stream, they were just a lot of work. And they were always the least viewed thing. And it's not like I'm sat here going, oh, I care about views. But it was... for the thing you put the most work into, to get a very... like, I think there's a bit of restructuring to do. You know, some of that's on me, but still. I want to bring that back. I'm going to do a proper stream. This is just kind of more of a test chat thing. I might do a proper stream tomorrow. But the main thing... well, one of the things I want to try and bring back is those little... you know, like, I remember when I played all Fallout 4, I really liked that. And I played through Subnautica. Like, just playing through a game, like, a slightly creative one that was a bit more... like, I liked that. And Fallout London just came out, and I thought, ooh, that's a good, interesting thing to stream. And if you buy Fallout 4 on GOG, you can also get Fallout London on GOG, and you just click go and it works. So I've done that to separate it from my modded version. And yeah, like the tech stuff I was doing in my workshop, I mean, that was always my favorite thing. That's what I spent all the money on. I have this very distinct memory of going to do a tech stream at, like, you know, 8 PM or something one day. I advertised it. You know, isn't that little bit with the stream starting, the first 10 minutes where just a start soon music plays. And I came back. I usually I'll put that up and I'll walk off and I'll get some water and I'll kind of set anything else up during that time. And I came back and I came to sit down and I looked. There were 3 viewers, and I looked at that. And I went, because normally, right? Yeah, I've got 50 now. That's kind of an average thing for me. That's a nice number, right? So to have an average of 50 and then have 3 people watching, I'm like, I don't think people like this. But I think if I make them more an event and I make them more specific, I probably will. I'm going to bring that back again because I liked it. And the backlog vlog I definitely want to bring back. Because I really liked... I thought that was really interesting. Especially playing the older stuff. I mean, I kind of obviously got a bit further ahead now. And having the Series X... having the Series X and the Switch, obviously, it gives me access to even more games, because the Switch has got more games on it, and the Series X, obviously, I can play a lot of games I might not have had access to otherwise, in a nice quality, right? I don't even have to have the Xbox up here. Like, I'm just gonna Wi-Fi stream it, and just capture that, because it's grand. It's not that I couldn't do... I mean, I've obviously got the Xbox, but plugging the X... It's a faff capturing an original Xbox. I still need to for the backlog slog, because back and pat on the Xbox Series X is like for only some original Xbox games, whereas I have a ludicrously massive collection of them. That's a problem. That's another problem for later. This is many things I'm going to fix. Like, I'm going to slowly get back into stream, and I'm going to probably get into it by doing something like, you know, Fallout London and stuff. And then once I'm sort of back on track with everything else, then I'll bring in those more structured, like, regular streams, like the backlog slog and like the sort of tech stuff. I just need to get everything else sorted first. Because those kind of streams require quite a lot of setup, and they require quite a lot of work. Whereas just playing Fallout London doesn't really require anything. My office is a mess currently. I've got prints here. Oh, yeah. My entire life has basically been dominated by me doing, like, micro accounting every day, because I'm having to micromanage everything, just because everything got really fucking tight, business-wise, for various book-related reasons. And prints, go behind on prints. So whenever I've been doing prints, I've not just been doing a month of prints, I've been doing 2 to 3 months of prints. And when I'm managing multiple months of prints, it actually exponentially makes it more difficult. Every month added to it. It's not, doing 3 months isn't 3 times the work. It's more like 5 to 6 times the work of doing 1 month. And doing 2 months is like 3 to 4 times the work of doing 1 month, just because the actual logistics involved in it. And then Patreon's a fucking pain in the arse. Patreon's such a fucking pain in the arse. For any monthly rewards, they are just... I had to download an auto-clicker. Right, I just clicked my mouse button and refresh the web page, so I could unmark stuff as complete in the back. Like, there's a back end where you can look at benefits. You know, like, if you have the art prints, right? From my side, you go into the back end, you click benefits, and it gives you a big list of everyone who has art print benefit. And then it'll have it has one of the columns says, you know, month that it's due by, right? You can't filter that section. You can't filter it. So you can mark all as complete, or you can mark them individually complete. But obviously every month it adds another month to it. So if you mark them all as complete, you end up marking ones complete that aren't yet complete. But the longer you leave it, it just keeps getting longer and longer and longer and longer and longer. And then when you try and download the spreadsheet, the page crashes, because Patreon's a piece of shit, and I can't just filter by a certain month and mark that month as complete. And there's been once or twice where I've accidentally marked them all as complete, and I go, for fuck's... And you can't mark them all incomplete, so you have to make an auto-clicker to click mark incomplete, mark incomplete, mark incomplete, and just leave it on. I had to leave it on. I've had to leave it on overnight several times. Do you want to bring about watch-alongs? Yes and no. I'd like to, but I'm not going to. Because Twitch removed the feature, and it was already kind of a faff to do, even with that feature. So trying to do it without that feature, I don't think is workable, really, at all. I'm interestingly, actually just, I'm arranging a movie night with a bunch of my friends, and I'm going to have a bunch of people over. I'm basically literally going to do the same thing as I did for streams. I'm going to have the same style of drinking game. I'm going to have the sip rule. I'm going to have the same rules, sort of thing. I'm going to make the same sort of themed cocktails. I'm just going to do it in person for, like 10 people. Is my plan. But I don't think it's practical for me to do that on Twitch anymore, as much as I want to, because I quite liked doing them. Actually, now that you say accounting, I'm curious how the whole needing to give a lot of money to the taxman was like from your end. Just to give a bit of context, how my job works, right? Like, in terms of like stuff I do day to day, especially business stuff, is I kind of take care of everything. And Daniel doesn't want to be involved. Daniel hates money. He can't deal with it. He hates it. That's why I do it, right? And over the past few years, especially as Daniel's been writing the book, the thing with Unbound is you don't actually really get paid by Unbound until the book's out. Just to see, that's due to the nature of crowdfunding, right? Like a normal book publisher, you go to them, you say, well, I want to write this book, and they go, cool, here's an advance. Delivered by this date. It's the opposite with crowdfunding. So Daniel's always been writing a book full time for like 4 years. But it hasn't really paid any money yet. I mean, there's some bits and pieces with Unbound that I managed to arrange, but like not really got anything out of it yet. And creates bits and bobs, and it's a bit awkward. So from Daniel's perspective, the only thing I ever come to him with is I like to use my work as imagine it like as a scale, right? Like a bar chart, right? With an 100%. With oh, good. Oh, I just got a text message from my mother. You're not going out today, are you? No. You know how there's riots going on? Just a side note. You know how there's like riots and stuff going on? Actually, let's just have a look in the Liverpool Echo. I live in Liverpool City Centre. I'm not going to say where, but I live in Liverpool City Centre. Let's just have a look. Live updates. Because there's been riots in a lot of cities. Race riots, which has been just great. How's it going in Liverpool currently? Because there was riots in South, but there were riots in Sunderland. What's happening in Liverpool now? Let's have a look. I'm kind of pleased at entertaining people. What's really funny is the Disney cruise ship's in town as well. The Disney cruise ship is next to where they're doing the racism protests. So, it's quite sad. There's an article. Children in tears near Disney cruise ship because people who went, because Disney do a thing where they park their cruise ship to do a bit of Disney Day, and it's literally next to where these like far right racists are doing this shit. So, families going for a nice day out of the Disney cruise ship are like, racist fucking violent people are next to them, which is horrible. Skirmishes broke out. Parents and children reported to have run up Water Street away from the main strand as protests spilled out onto the main road. A dispersal order has been thinged. Scuffles have broken out. Riot equipment. Great. Love that. Yeah, it wasn't even right-wing media. It was in a lot of like Telegram groups and stuff like that, and like Tommy Robinson. It's been a lot of back channels. Like the only reason a lot of these protests were found out is like organizations like Hope Not Hate and stuff were had covertly got into these Telegram channels and kind of found out where they were going. I just need to text someone real quickly. Bit of a ball ache in Liverpool. Yeah. Because it was the Southport stabbings, but the actual guy, the guy who did it, was on trial in Liverpool. He was on trial, kind of near me. So weird. I remember I was walking around Liverpool City Centre that day the trial was happening. There's this weird kind of vibe because national media was kind of covering everywhere because the trial, the killer was sort of there. But then also the Jehovah's Witness convention is on. Like they've taken over the entire arena, so there's like Jehovah's Witnesses everywhere. And then it's like a really sunny It was like a really sunny Saturday. It was a really sunny weekday. And the schools are off, so like there's just loads of families and kids everywhere. So it's full of families, kids, like reporters, racists, anti-racist protesters, Jehovah's Witnesses, and they're all none of them are related. None of them are there for each other, and they're all just sort of mingling. And I'm like, oh, this is really strange. I mean, this current round of riots, the BBC, everyone is calling riots. Like I have not seen any major media in the UK not call them race riots, or riots, like they're riots. Like, and everyone's kind of coming out against them as far-right extremist riots. Like, there's been a pretty strong response from the media, from the media and from politicians about these specific ones. That's not really a general thing, but for these specifically, yes. It's gotten pretty bad here. I've seen a few times. There's a police plane flying over Liverpool. I can hear it sometimes because it's just doing circles. It's been doing them all day. What am I doing? Everyone except Kimmy Badnock. I mean, Kimmy Badnock is a piece of shit who's kind of trying to appeal to the far right by not standing against them. Anyway, side note, because we're distracting from that, because I mean, for me, it's literally happening nearby. So, working tax man. Yeah. So, when I go to Danny with anything, like money related or whatever, it's when it's gotten to a point where I can't do anything more about it. So it's less that I've lost control of the situation and more it's kind of overflowed to a point where, you know, I can't deal with it anymore. Because money got really tight. Then everything's just been really tight. Everything's just been really tight. It's required me to micromanage everything, like, on a daily basis. Which has been tiring. It's been tiring. It's less that we definitely knew we had to pay those taxes, to be clear. The issue was we were expecting to have money by now. For various reasons. Which we still don't have. So we have to find a lot of stopgap solutions. That stream was one of them. Yeah, I've just been stressed, honestly. Been very stressed. 30 now, 10:30. 10:30 last month. That was fun. Yeah, it's just I've just been doing a lot of faffy stuff. Say I've been doing I have an accountant. I'm having to have weekly meetings with our accountant, right? Like I'm having to manage money daily and like move stuff around, and it is what is known as a cash flow issue. Because, you know, over a year we break even, but like you might break even over the course of a whole year, but, you know, if all the money comes at the end of the year and all the bills are at the start of the year, well, how do you get from the start to the end, sort of thing? That's kind of how it works. We just need to get book stuff sorted, basically. Book stuff, but the book sort of helps a lot, and that's kind of out properly, and it's just getting to that point. As is very tight, and has just gotten. It was tight a few years ago, but every year it's gotten tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. And this year it's like to the wall tight, sort of thing. It's not anyone's fault. It's just the reality of the situation, really. Actually, I could probably blame the publisher, but still. So I've been doing a lot of logistical things, and did that stream help? Yes and no. Yes, in that we'd get the money. No, in the sense that one of the problems with coming to Daniel and stuff, especially, is Daniel goes, "Oh shit, we need to do a stream to make some money to get this," and I'm like, "Cool." The problem is, any money made from that stream, we don't get until like this month. We don't get till like later this month. Like, you do a stream, like you get a payout from Twitch like a month and a half after you get the payment. So, like, you're in a situation where it's like, we urgently need money, and Daniel does a thing. still a month and a half away, which is good because that's guaranteed income, and you can kind of take out, you know, a small loan knowing you can pay it off with that guaranteed income. But you know, it's still a logistic. It still doesn't. There's still logistical complications there, is what I'm saying. So you know, it's just a lot of little bits of work that I'm doing, which is just so fucking tiring because it's constant. And it's really annoying. And I've been trying to like zone out when I'm not working because I was just really stressed, which is why I've not been doing this. I just kind of fell out of the thing. It's not really recording anymore. We haven't done the podcasts in ages. We haven't done the podcasts in ages because of John, by the way. It's not our fault. It's John's fault. Because John's been all over the place as well. That's why the podcasts haven't happened, because of John. So I've not actually done any recording for ages or any sort of streams or anything for ages. So I've just fallen out of it. I just kind of felt like doing something more creative again, so I'm trying to slowly ease back into it. Also, I was a bit worried about losing my partnership and stuff as well, which would be quite funny. So yeah, I'm just kind of slowly, because I kind of, as well, at around the same time, like Twitter and Reddit died for me. Because you know, Twitter kind of hit for me across the ultimate line, and obviously Reddit did the whole thing, and they both fucked around at the same time. And Reddit, for me, Reddit and Twitter were my main social media things, and have always been like that. I've been in relationships with them. I've made probably friends through those things. I got my job through those services. I think most of my following was on Twitter, so like I made a decision to delete Twitter. Reddit went public, and as part of going public, they removed API access fully, which made every third-party app break. So loads of people did a protest against it, and they never changed their policy. So I've never stopped. You know, the Nerdcube subreddit's shut down, and it says people have messaged it being like, "Why is it down?" It says in the fucking sidebar why it's down, and it's still for the same reason. Kill loads of accessibility things, and I don't fucking like them anymore, so they can go fuck themselves. And yeah, Twitter's obviously Twitter. I'm on Blue Sky now. I like Blue Sky. Blue Sky's great. But yeah, several things coalesced at once. I kind of got a bit sick. I got a bit ill again. There's lots of things, you know. You know when like a bunch of little things happen at once, and it's sort of you don't really have time for any other stuff. I think when I was streaming a lot, it was because everything else was kind of together. So like when I'd finished like my work, and I was still doing other stuff, you know, like I would still have time, but like I just haven't really lately. But yeah, I'm trying to make the time at the moment. It's like I've been playing some games. Like I play through all the fucking Indica. I played through. Again, one of the things I like about the Xbox is that I quite like little games. I like shorter games. I like small, like, you know, 4-hour things. You know, 1 to 4 or 5 hours. I don't like these big games, which take ages. I mean, I don't hate them, but like, for the most part, I like to try a load of little things. I've been trying to play more little things. And Game Pass on the Xbox helps with that a lot because it's so accessible, especially when I'm just sat on the couch. I've been getting my house in order. Little bits and pieces because a load of stuff broke. I mean, it was a great thing, right? Like money was tight for me, especially. And then all at once, right? My washing machine, my dishwasher, my oven, and my hob broke. Oh, and my fridge. All of them at the same time broke. And I got sick. And I went, oh fuck. I was getting everything sorted. It's a very Matt issue. All very Matt issues. But you know, still issues. So, it is what it is. Really, it is what it is. I mean, politics has been all over the place as well. I mean, Christ, Labour's in power. I mean, their entire fucking life are doing stuff publicly online. Conservatives in power. Labour's in power now. You know, there've been a lot of politically charged issues. You know, I mean, the sort of genocide in Palestine, obviously, fucking. I mean, also Blue Labour. Yeah, it's Blue Labour. It's a right-wing Labour, but there's been a thing about Labour and the Tories. They're really not. Labour's nowhere near good enough. Definitely not. They're really bad in a lot of ways, but like they are Google's better than the Tories in a lot of ways as well. But you know, fight for better. Big thing. Greens. We have 4 Green MPs now. Yay! Wonderful. That's good news. Wonderful news, that is. Wonderful news. There's a lot happening. There's a lot happening, and there's been that kind of thing that I used to quite like. I still do, I suppose. I used to quite like Twitch as a you know, I used to complain a lot on Twitter about stuff, and Twitter was just the worst place in the world to kind of talk about social issues because you couldn't have any nuance or complexity on Twitter just due to how it was, like just it's the nature of it. Whereas I quite liked talking about stuff on Twitch because I could obviously speak about it at length, at proper length, and actually, you know, because most issues are actually complicated, right? When you delve into them, right? Like Israel and Palestine as a long-term issue is quite complex, both in terms of land grabs and international law, and in terms of them both kind of claiming the same areas, and in terms of how to deal with that, and then obviously several campaigners for years have been talking about different things, and you know everyone's disagreeing on what is there a one-state solution? Is it a two-state solution? Is it, and how do you get there? And then obviously you've got a far-right fucking Israeli government with conscription, and then there's this whole thing with obviously, you know, there's that classic thing where you know, people in a certain, you know, people in countries are fed disinformation, right? Like, you know, there was this big thing at the start of the Ukraine-Russia war, where there was this huge celebration on like Twitter and a lot of like leftist Twitter about. There was this huge thing about like people were celebrating all these like arms being, you know, like, people donating and being like, oh, your donation has paid for this many bullets, and oh, these bullets have killed some Russians, and everyone was like, yeah, and I'm like, that's really gross. That's like absolutely disgusting behavior. Like to be celebrating it, because like war's bad, no matter what the context. Even if you're defending yourself, you don't celebrate murder. You don't celebrate killing. Killing is a necessary evil sometimes, but like. Oh, let's not celebrate it. Come on now. Like most Russians fighting are like conscripts who've just been fed disinformation from an incredibly isolated state for years. And you know, you look at the political context of a lot of these things. You look at Israel, where famously Jews have been an incredibly oppressed group for a long time, and they have. You have a Jewish state run by a far-right guy, Benjamin Netanyahu, who was arrested several times, who's always been a dick. You have military conscription, you have national service in Israel, and then you have a terror attack in Israel, which obviously riles people up, right? As is happening literally right now in Liverpool, there's fucking race riots happening because of a single attack that happened in Southport that people are basically attributing and using as a kind of fuel for a fire, even if it's unjustified. So so many things have so many layers of complexity in, and they're impossible to talk about on Twitter. And I really like talking about it on Twitch because I think it's important to really delve into the nuance of a lot of things, because unless you actually delve into the core and the nuance and actually stuff kind of being complicated to solve, even when the issue's simple, right? Like there's this whole thing with, like, for example, with Palestine, where just a lot of people won't call it a genocide, right? Israel are committing genocide against Palestinians. That doesn't negate anything else. Israel had terror attacks against them. Hamas is considered a terror organization by a lot of things, even though they were elected by Palestine. But they basically turned from an elected thing into a kind of unelected dictatorship. And then there's so many fucking things happening. And really, I mean, the best comparison is the Troubles. Really, I mean, I know a lot about the Troubles. A lot of things people don't know about the Troubles. But you know, that was a complex issue as well. It's not because it's morally complex. It's not morally complex, but it is complex in how you deal with it. You know, morally, you should Morally, don't commit genocide, obviously. But like, there's a wider issue in that region which isn't just solved by a ceasefire, right? Ceasefire is a good start, but it's a start. Lots of things, like all of these things are like there's extra layers to it, and focusing on certain things is great. My thing has always been, especially talking online, I always want to talk about the actual deep sort of geopolitical issues properly, like give them time. I don't tend to talk about stuff unless I know properly about it. You know, and often things get really, really, really oversimplified to the point that disinformation gets spread, even by people who I agree with, right? Like disinformation just kind of spreads. And there's this whole idea that there's only disinformation on like the right of politics. There's disinformation in all of fucking politics, and it's really important to combat it with proper sort of reporting and proper discussion. And it's really important to talk about it, and I really like Twitch as a platform to talk about it, because I like to think, as much as people don't necessarily come to be for political opinions, I think at least my attitude towards politics, I hope, rubs off a bit on some people. So that's the other thing. I haven't been keeping up on the deeper issues of a lot of things happening in the world as I used to. Again, I had more time, mental energy to do that, you know, a year ago, 2 years ago. Whereas in the past year, I haven't really had the time and mental energy to do it. So I've kind of been getting a surface level read of a lot of things. And my rule tends to be, unless I actually delve into something, I tend to avoid talking about it, which I think is a fairly good policy to have, honestly. It's a fair, you know, people might ask, like, what do you think of this? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Like, it's really important to be like, oh, I don't know enough about it. That's a really important thing to do. You know, I can, you know, like Israel and Palestine as a long-term geopolitical issue, I don't know as much about as I would like. I know quite a bit about it, but I don't feel like I know enough to give a properly informed opinion on resolving that entire issue, not just in terms of stopping Israel committing genocide against Palestinians, but also actually the wider issues in the region that sparked this in the first place. Because stuff doesn't come out in a vacuum. I mean, all these fucking far-right riots in the UK aren't coming out of a vacuum. They're happening for a reason. The reason might not be valid, but if anything, that's more of a reason, right? You go, well, how have they gotten that? Is that lack of education? Is that a lack of, you know, what's... Like, there's always deeper issues at play. And everything's more complex than it appears on the surface. And it's really, 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 really important to talk about that. It's why I tend to be... I like to think I'm quite an activist, but I'm not really a protester, because protests tend to be more about the surface level thing, and that's good and important. But for me, very personally, I prefer to put my energy into really deep sort of... actually dig my teeth into it properly, and have very frank discussions with people about it properly, rather than... I find that matters more to me. It's not an objective opinion, that is just what I value. We should be mad at billionaires, not migrants? Yeah. I mean, there's no nuance to the billionaire thing. Billionaires shouldn't exist. That's kind of the end of the sentence, really. These riots that are happening currently are horrible because, for those who don't know, just to give a little bit of context here, about a week ago, I think it was about a week ago, a 19-year-old guy went into like a dance studio in Southport, which is like a town north of Liverpool. It's part of the Liverpool City region. Merseyrail goes there. Like, it's part of Liverpool, technically, but it's not the city of Liverpool, it's city south. It's a separate bit, but it's whatever. Part of the wider region. And he went in with a hunting knife, and he stabbed loads of people. It was a mass stabbing. 17-year-old. Jesus, he's 17. Oh, yeah, he's 17, isn't he? 17. And three kids have died, like 6-year-old kids have died. Several people were injured. There's several kids still in critical condition. There's several adults in critical condition who, you know, some of them can't walk and yada. And there wasn't much information about it initially, so the far right kind of grabbed onto it, and there was this shared misinformation that it was an asylum seeker and get rid of the boats and blah blah blah. And they ended up the judge, in a rare move, actually publicised the name, because in the UK, especially in the media, you can't really talk about things, especially cases ongoing, especially when it involves minors. You're very legally limited in what you're allowed to say. So like news organizations couldn't even really talk about it properly and properly inform people. And the judge made the decision of, okay, because of all of this information going out, I'm going to make the rare decision to publicize this person's name and who they are. Because I think hiding it does more damage. And he's not an asylum seeker at all. He is a naturalized. He was born in Britain. He was born in Wales. He was born in Cardiff. His two parents were Rwandan. They moved here in 2002. There is currently, the motive is unclear and unknown, at least by the public. It's not terror related. The police have said it is not terror related. They don't think it's terror related. So, but obviously the far right have latched onto it as this kind of, it's been this kind of inciting incident for racial things, but it's all stop the boats, make our country ours again, stuff like that. And it's based on the false thing about them being a migrant. But it doesn't really matter, because that's not really, they're just using it as an excuse, right? Which is part of a wider issue, and there's riots happening here now from all these far right assholes who are kind of, I don't think they're emboldened. Often when people get back, there's that classic thing with an animal or a person getting back into a corner and they tend to lash out. I think because of the defeat of the Conservatives and the fact that a left-leaning party has gotten into power. Now, obviously, Labour aren't very left-leaning in all grand things, but they are left-leaning in the wider scale of things, right? Like, socially, they're reasonably left-leaning. Especially compared to, like, Reform and the hard-right groups, and even American, so they are left-leaning, it seems to them. And I think because there was, like, quite overwhelming victory for Labour, which is a victory in seats, not votes, but whatever. Maybe they fell back into a corner, and that's just been the powder keg's been a bit ignited. It's a mess. Things are complicated. I like talking about things with a certain amount of sort of knowledge. And I say I've just fallen off things over the past year. For better or worse, one of the things I really loved about Twitter is Twitter was a really good way to learn a lot of stuff that was going on. You could see what was going on. I mean, I still have a Twitter account. It's a private one that I made ages ago. I don't actually post anything on it. But the rare time I need to check something, I've actually been using it in the past couple of days, specifically looking up Liverpool to see if there was any news about what's happening in Liverpool. It was only because of that I found out about this fucking riot happening. All horrible. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing how horrible Elon Musk's Twitter is, because oh my god, it's just all horrible people, like being blatantly, openly racist and being allowed to be, and it's just insane. It's an interesting thing with Liverpool. Liverpool is a very left-leaning city. A very left-leaning city. I mean, even let's have a look. General election results. Yeah, like Reform here got 10% of the vote. They were beaten by the Greens, who got 16% of the vote, and Labour, who got 60% of the vote. Below Reform is a Lib Dem with 4.8% of the vote, and below that is a Tory with 3.6% of the vote. Like, generally speaking, Liberal is quite a left-leaning thing. Even if that left-leaning is very Labour, it's still very left-leaning as a city. It tends to just be, nowhere near Brighton or Bristol levels, but it's quite a left-leaning kind of cultural, artistic city. And even obviously we're getting these kind of race riots, and it is a very small portion of the population still, but still they can do a lot of damage. I'm sorry if you call out Elon gets you banned. I mean, that's why I deleted my Twitter. This is why, right? Because I was using Twitter just to basically promote Blue Sky. But it got to the point where me going on Blue Sky, me going on Twitter, just made me so fucking sad every fucking time, and I absolutely hated that. I felt like my presence on there was somehow because everyone like was sort of not leaving, and I'm like, no, you have to make a stand with it. And I sort of went, look, my presence on there, I don't want my presence to be on this website. I don't want to be associated with Twitter anymore because I think it's abhorrent. I think Elon Musk is abhorrent, and I think being associated with Twitter by having like an active account is playing into it, even unintentionally, which is why I deleted my Twitter completely. Even though it was kind of shooting myself in the foot a little bit, it's important. But you know, for better or worse, I got a lot of my information. I got a lot of my not my full information, but I kind of Twitter often would I'd find out about an issue and then I'd read into it further. I'd actually research it properly, but I'd usually initially find out about a lot of stuff from Twitter, because so up to date you're hearing about stuff that's just happening. You know, for stuff that's happening today, Twitter is an invaluable resource. I mean, when Black Lives Matter protests were happening, Twitter was an invaluable resource to see what was even going on, like on the ground. It's the same with this. I fell out of that a bit. You know, I just haven't been keeping up on things. I've kind of just been, if I've not been working, I've been trying to zone out and not explode, basically. Trying to zone out, not explode. Doing a fair amount of weed, if I'm honest. Which just, addendum, is legal for me. I have medical marijuana. Ha! Lol. I pointed everyone out. Which, when, I mean, I have a problem with stress in that a year ago, where the way my body stresses out is my entire body just tenses up and hurts. I remember I went to my doctor like a year and a half ago, and I said, "Oh, I'm so stressed, right? But everything just hurts. All my muscles hurt because I'm tense all the time." And she went, "I don't know what to give you. I can offer you like sertraline as an antidepressant, but you're not depressed." I'm like, "I'm not depressed. I'm just stressed." And she goes, "Weed would be really perfect, but I can't prescribe it for you." And I went, "No." And then I found out you could get it privately. And I went, "Oh." And I found it quite helpful in that context. But it is an acute thing. It just sort of helps. You know, from really stressed to come down a bit. It doesn't solve the stress, but I'm slowly getting on top of the stress. And getting on top of work, and things are kind of looking up a bit now. Things are getting easier. It's getting there. You can get that in the UK. Yes, I mean, so medical marijuana in the UK. On the NHS, you can only get it if you are like on chemotherapy or for some very strict because of palliative care options. However, medical marijuana is legalized in the UK, and there's a couple of private firms, private sort of GPs that can prescribe it for you. You have to meet certain legal criteria, depending on what you're doing it for, but you can get it. It's obviously quite strictly regulated. It's quite nice as well because, you know, it gets put in your medical record. My doctor knows about it. You know, it's on my NHS app. It's listed there as a thing. It's also fun because I can legally just have it. Like if I ever get stopped and someone's like, "Do you have weed?" So I'm like, "Yes." I'm like, "No, I'm allowed. Look, I have a prescription." And they have to go, "Oh." There's something quite novel about that. But you know, all these things, it's just, nipples trending on Twitter. I've almost been up 2 hours now, so I'm going to go for an hour or two. I'll probably finish up in a minute. I was just kind of testing everything to make sure it was sort of working. I don't have to mess with anything too much. I mean, the mic doesn't sound perfect, but it works. I wonder what you put in your shock wire recipe. I don't. Medical marijuana, they can prescribe it in like several forms. They can either give you literally just oil, which you just put in your tongue and let absorb. They can give you pastils, which you suck on, which I would love, but I can't have them because they've got gelatin in them. Or you can just get the flowers and you can use a vaporizer. They all work differently and they all have different effects and lengths and stuff like that. I tend to have oil. Yeah, the mic sounds a bit more full. My mic setup just sort of was a bit fucked. It's still a little fucked. I need to mess with it more, but mic works. That's a good first step. So is medical marijuana mostly just the THC extract from it? Oh no, there are several different options. I mean, so when I originally went, they can give you a balance, they can give you pure CBD, they can give you pure THC, they can give you lots of different strains. There's basically a menu. They have different prices. So like they give me a really high, they give me basically a pure THC oil, and they also give me a pure CBD oil, like a marijuana-based CBD oil. And they prescribe depending on what it is. CBD is you said the stream quality dropping a bit. It's not on my end. Mine is solid. I've not dropped a single frame this whole time. Yeah, just so yeah, my plan for the future is I'm just gonna slowly ease back into stuff. I'll have a schedule again at some point. Probably not to the end of the year, honestly. I hope to have one sooner, but it's probably gonna be then. I'm not gonna make any commitments. I'm just gonna try. I want to try and do a stream a week. I want to aim to do a stream a week. Preferably on the weekend, you know, on a Saturday or Sunday. So I'm gonna try. I don't know if I'll do it tomorrow. I might. I was debating doing like a full London stream tomorrow, which I might do. Or I might just leave it till next Saturday and probably schedule it. I'm not 100% sure, but I will let people know on Discord and Blue Sky. I didn't post about this really properly, but it's just a little test. I've been doing for 2 hours. Like the colours. Wait, look, I'm gonna test. Look, I'm gonna test some other things. Let's test some of the screens. Let's test the intermission screen. No, that didn't work, did it? Oh, that worked on a fade out. Right. Let's press it again. Why is it doing that? I've got to fix that then. Yeah, some of my buttons are just sort of half broken. I mean, I'm supposed to get rid of the chat. And then... Oh, it's faded. Look at that. Yeah, and then normally it'd mute my mic. And then it would go to the intermission screen proper. And then it'd come back. Just want to check all the transitions work properly still. I mean, I need to make the button work properly again, but because I redid all of them. I redid all of them to have this kind of slight like rainbow thing. Even the end screens. I wonder if they'll work. Ugh, bring the chat back. I'll probably redesign the chat. That little chat window. I'm not a fan of how that looks. I'll mess with that in future. I just want to give it a bit of a visual slight refresh. Yeah, I'm gonna go because my throat's not quite as good at talking for long periods of time as it used to be. Thanks for hanging out. The backgrounds aren't new; they are rejigged versions of the old ones. It's actually the same background. It's just I've redone the sounds and I've redone the vibe. I've just changed how they're composited, basically, to add the rainbowy vibe in. Yeah, it's just a different vibe. It's a different vibe on the same thing, which is the exact kind of vibe I'm going for. It's not a big rebrand. I'm not trying to do that. I quite like it. It's a refresh. A raid's still a thing. Let's see. They are wonderful. Oh, Twitch load. Oh wait, no. I barely use my PC. I say I got an Xbox. I've been mainly kind of gaming on my couch, so I've been playing the Switch and Xbox a lot. And and I've not been streaming, so I've basically not had my PC on. I've not really had to do any capture for work, so it's not been on. So I opened it like yesterday. It just fucking freaked out. It was like, everything's out of date, and I'm like, and everything signed me out, because of course it does, because Windows is a piece of shit and I hate it. Is there anyone to raid that I follow? No. Well, Sips is live, but Sips doesn't need the viewers. Maybe I'll find some more people to follow. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna go. Bye everyone. Thanks for. Oh, it's a separate button in there. I have to change that. Oh, I wonder why the emission button doesn't work properly. Oh well. Bye.